What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Is Big Glen. This is my right hand man, OG Tony. It's a racing and wrestling show for Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. And we are your host today. And we're going to get right into it. We had some NASCAR races over the past few weeks. We had the Coca-Cola 600, the Indy 500 a little over a week and a half ago. But we also had Watkins Glen between the last time he was on air, and that race was amazing. Watkins Glen was awesome. That trip was, cool. Usually I fly out, but me and my buddy Freddie Buns, we drove up It was like 9.5 hour drive and stuff. So, but I drove his truck half the trip, so that way, if he needs to relax, he can do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Shane Van Gisbergen, the guy that I picked to win, won that race and stuff. Do you have any thoughts on the Indy 500 and stuff like that, Tony?
Yeah, man, the 500 was fantastic. I really loved it. It was probably definitely in recent times my favorite race I've seen. I really enjoyed it. I mean, had over 70 lead changes. The smallest victory as far as length of victory ever. Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic race. It seems like racing is kind of, you would know more, Glenn, but I know the 500 is definitely heating back up and they're selling out again. But I think racing is getting a little hot again. What do you think?
I think so, because you have NASCAR doing their thing. They're going to. I wouldn't say exotic, but I'm just going to use exotic for this specific topic. Like NASCAR is going to be racing on the naval base out in San Diego in a couple weeks, and stuff. They're actually going to race on the base and stuff.
Okay,
it's going to be
cool.
Amazing. Granted, the TV numbers for the Indy 500 was down from last year, but you sold out the race early enough and stuff. And which I went to the 100 Days Out party back in February when they had the opening weekend for the NASCAR. Because NASCAR, when they have their opening week, it's usually the week of the Indy 500 100 Days Out event. So since I didn't go to Daytona, I went to the 100 Days Out event, and they pretty much was saying that it was probably going to sell out earlier than what normally it would be, instead of the week of the race, it was like a week or two before that. I think that if I remember correctly, I think they sold that race out before I left for Watkins Glen, and that was on May 9th. So, so that's pretty damn good, because I tell you what, man, I know I spoke about this a few times in our chats and stuff, and on some of our other shows. I had won $1,000 worth of Indy 500 tickets, and I couldn't get rid of them fast enough because people were inboxing me and stuff, and every set that I had sold out within like a few hours of putting them up on Facebook Marketplace, with the exception of the last one. But I think the reason why the last one took so long to sell is because of the potential of the rain for the 500. So, which it happens, but I got rid of those. But the Coca to the Coca-Cola 600, the other Memorial Day race that we had, that was a great race. It ended up getting cut short a little bit. I think it was about 30 something laps by the time the rain pretty much put into it, because it was about midnight. Obviously, Daniel Suarez won, but back to the Indy 500. That race was fantastic, one of the best finishes ever. Then we have IndyCar in Detroit. What are your thoughts on that, Tony?
Well, it's bad when I'm definitely no race expert, but the two people I picked to win it finished first and second. Kirkwood got second, and Alex Palou got first. Graham Rahal got third. He had a good race. Graham seems like he's starting to race a little bit better. He didn't race too bad at the 500, and like I said, had a pretty good race here. I think led some of this race. I didn't get to see a whole lot of that. I was disappointed because I enjoy the Detroit Grand Prix, but I forget what I was watching. Had a lot going on Sunday. I can't remember.
It was Clash in Italy.
Yep, Clash in Italy, and I had some other things going on, so that's why I missed it. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, from all what I hear, is a pretty good race. So I mean, and then the Crackle Barrel 400 that happened. I had the winners picked for that one. I had Denny Hamlin and Bell first and second. Was that a pretty good race? I seen a little bit of it, not much.
Oh, it was amazing. Nashville, I don't like it when they run in the day because I feel like the race is better under the lights and at that specific track because the cars handle better. It's more exciting, things like that. But there was a short holdover for obviously rain, and you know how the whole state of Tennessee is on Central Time, which is weird as hell, which don't make no sense to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So they started at 7:00, which is 8:00 Indianapolis time.
Yeah.
And everything. So I kind of figured Denny Hamlin was going to be up there as well as Christopher Bell. I think Tyler Reddick got up there for a few, but he didn't have the car to compete for that win. But I'll tell you who about got the win, but didn't. And the only reason why he didn't is because his other two teammates were just as better or a little bit better. And that's our guy, Chase Briscoe, Mr. Indiana.
Yeah, he got third. I seen that. So it seemed like he's racing a little bit better last couple of races too. So
yeah,
get things straightened out.
Yeah, NASCAR is in Michigan this weekend. Not the Xfinity Series, but the Arise Series is off this weekend. So it's just, I think it's ARCA on Friday at Michigan, Truck on Saturday at Michigan, and a Cup on Sunday at Michigan. I want to keep it simple with the Cup picks for Sunday. It's going to be Denny Hamlin once again because that's his track. He's going to win the race just like he did last year. Passing William Byron right in front of me and my guy Freddie, out there in turn 4. I kid you not, that dude passed him right in front of us coming off of 4. I thought, oh, there goes the race, because Denny Hamlin's going to win because you know how he is. He's pretty much this era's Kevin Harvick, and Kevin Harvick is everybody calls him the closer. Well, Denny Hamlin late in the race is pretty much the same thing, Denny Hamlin going around for the lead and stuff like that. I mean, we got Tyler Reddick still leading the points right now, but I do think Denny Hamlin is going to the championship this year.
Okay.
And I mentioned this to you on our voice call earlier today about Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch passing away. Man, that situation is just so unfortunate. But I'm gonna incorporate it with the Denny Hamlin stuff. I think Denny Hamlin with losing his dad last year, and it's a weird coincidence of situations that I think Denny Hamlin's going to finally get that championship this year, and stuff like that. But man, losing Kyle Busch like that, man, it just sucks because he had just won his truck race the Friday before he passed. And some people were saying that he wasn't looking too good in the ears and stuff during Dover and everything from the sepsis. So, but I guess he had been battling that pneumonia for a couple of weeks to the point where he was having to get like a shot post race after the Watkins Glen race.
Yeah, but I don't think it was, and it's easy to say now, but being in a car and it's so hot in a car, that and pneumonia don't mix.
No.
So of course, when the guy wasn't a very old guy, he thinks he's nothing going to happen to you. I'm gonna be fine, And unfortunately, I think he made a bad. Him, his doctors, family, whoever, maybe he didn't listen to the doctors. I don't know, or maybe his doctors thought he'd be fine. I don't know the particulars, but I think maybe a bad decision. But hey. We've all been there. We don't like to go to the hospitals. We don't like to take care of ourselves. Unfortunately, I think it's easy to say now. It might have been kind of a bad decision, but it's very sad. That he passed away and his family has to go through this, and because the guy wasn't very old at all. So.
Yeah, he was old and a couple years older than me, and I'll be 39 in November. He
early 40s,
41,
yeah.
41. So, but yeah, we also speak to move over to IndyCar. IndyCar is racing in St. Louis at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a great track, by the way.
Okay.
They'll be racing on Fox on Sunday night.
9 p.m.
Yeah, 9 p.m. It's a late one, but it's one of the best races of the year. That's not the Indy 500. Obviously, IndyCar is kind of. Okay. I'm gonna knock it a little bit. It's me being Glen, but IndyCar is really about one race. I mean, you have other races, but the moneymaker is the Indy 500. It's facts.
Oh yeah.
Is what it is. But the other oval race, obviously, this being Worldwide Technology Raceway in St. Louis, it's going to be a great race. Who do you have winning on Sunday, Tony?
I'll be honest with you. I hadn't looked at it to be perfectly honest, but I'm gonna just take a pick off the top of my head, and I'm gonna go with Kirkwood. I think he's hot. I think he's racing pretty well, so I'm gonna go with Kyle Kirkwood.
I'm going to go with either David Malukas or Joseph Newgarden.
Okay.
Penske tend to do well with these kind of tracks and stuff like that. I have a question for you. Did you happen to see the video from Will Power on Sunday after he got wrecked?
I did not.
So he's in his pit stall out of his car, like cleaning things up, whatever it was that he was doing after he got wrecked out late. He looked over at the Fox camera guy, told him to F off.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but because it's Will Power, he's the same guy that was giving somebody those birds some years back after a race and stuff, man. Yeah, he is the guy that will let you know. But who do you have winning on Sunday for the NASCAR race, Tony?
I'm going, just because he's racing well. I know he's going to be an underdog. He's not going to be a favorite in this race. I'm going to go with Briscoe.
Briscoe? I can see it. He's been doing pretty well as of late. It looks like he's finally get things figured out. Things like that. We do have a couple races coming up between now and our next show for NASCAR. Obviously, got the San Diego race, but I will be in Sonoma the weekend after Father's Day, which should be the last Sunday of June. I've never been to Sonoma racing before, but I've been up that way to San Francisco and stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to that race. I'm a rough course fan, but I'm not like a big rough course guy. But the scenery up there looks fantastic and stuff. So I obviously for that race, I'm picking St. Vance Gisbergen because who's going to be him on the road course right now?
Yeah.
Let's move over to some NXT action, Tony.
Yeah. What'd you think of the NXT show last night?
It was pretty good, honestly. I noticed during the middle sections of the show, like during the 9 o'clock, the late 8 o'clock, early 9 o'clock hour, there was some a lot of commercials. It seemed like,
yeah.
But the quality of the show was fantastic. Yeah, he had some matches get set up for next week. We had one hell of a banner for number one contenders for Tony D's title next week between Mason Rook and Nakuro.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're doing a great job, Glenn. I know the ratings have went down some, and that's to be expected.
Especially when you have a lot of the roster move up like that.
Yeah. When you lose so many guys, now you got a lot of young guys. I'm interested to see how they do on the CW with their PLE, because they're doing their PLE on that Sunday, the 28th, at the same time as AEW is doing a pay-per-view. It's going
Yeah.
to be going on at the same time. But actually, I think they'll start at 7. Their pay-per-view will start at 8. Their 0 hour pre-show will be at 7 for AEW. But
Mhm.
I'm interested to see, and I've seen some people that don't know what they're talking about saying, well, yeah, they had to move it on regular TV because nobody wants them. That's not true. They could have stayed on Peacock. They could have and actually now, I don't think a lot of people understand because they don't pay attention to the news. Not only is CW going to be doing that PLE live, it will also be as part of the package for ESPN. So if you have ESPN, uh, the app, you can also watch that PLE also.
Yeah.
So there's many different ways you can watch that show. I think it's a smart move. I mean, if they can get 600, 700,000 people to watch that show, I don't think it's a bad move. We gotta just gotta be honest what we're looking at here. We're talking about AEW, who's getting paid 175 million a year, and NXT is getting paid 20-30 million dollars a year.
Mhm.
Also, though, roster wise, John Moxley probably makes more than the whole NXT roster does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think NXT is doing a fantastic job. And something that I don't know if you've seen the thing yesterday, in an interview with Nick Khan. Uh, Nick Khan was asked about things, and he said, "Well, uh, we don't pay attention to the
I
internet
saw that.
complaints. What we look at is numbers. We look at numbers. If numbers are going down, or in the arenas or on TV ratings and things, we look at that, and that's how we adjust that, which makes sense. I'm not saying that's wrong necessarily, but he also said we also listen to our fan base." Uh, Viewers and the people in the arenas, but we also, he said, perfect example. We started looking at our roster, man, and we said, hey, man, this dude's 46 years old. This guy's 43 years old. This guy's 48 years old. This guy's 39 years old. And we went to Shawn Michaels. How can we accelerate getting younger stars ready? Because sometime in the future, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, we're going to need people. And Shawn Michaels told him straight up, we got to get these people out in front of live audiences, not 200 people, 300 people. We got
Yeah.
to get them in front of audiences, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, whatever. We got to get them in front of audiences to
Yeah.
know how to work.
Taking to Corbin, Kentucky, and wherever that little stint that they're going on in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
shows like that is going to help them out. I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of wish, along with that little stint that they're doing in Kentucky and Evansville, that I kind of wish the Great American Bash would be the end of their trip in Indy.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
obviously I'm going to be at GCW now that I made my plans up and everything for this month. Because I'll be at GCW for the big show here at the Fountain Square Theater on the 20th of June. So,
yeah.
But yeah, seeing NXT, knowing that they're getting better, going to have talent that's going to get better over time. Shawn Michaels really has it working down there, and he's got a keen eye for talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I had a few topics I wanted to touch on, and some questions for you. My first one is, do you believe the WWE is playing it too safe with storylines?
Yes. Some of them, yes, and I'll tell you why. I feel like some of them can be too drawn out, and you tend to forget about them and things like that. Then by the time you get to the payoff, it's kind of, maybe this wasn't the best idea.
I think they worry, and this is going to sound weird because I am a big storyline guy. I think sometimes keep it simple, stupid. You've heard me say that before about stuff. I think it's great to have storylines, but you got a lot of TV time to fill, and keep it simple. Why not just have a feud? A feud for a month with a couple of wrestlers, and be a month or 6 week storyline, and it's just a feud between these guys. Somebody's going to win the feud, somebody's going to lose the feud. But you can book it where way it's not going to hurt guys, and you got a lot of guys that can lose. It's not going to hurt anyway. So I think that would make things simple. But I think a big problem they're into is with TKO. The people that they want champions are the big stars. I mean,
Yep.
they don't want to take because I mean I've talked about it with House and them, and House and them, they need to take chances. They need to take swings. They're not going to take a lot of big swings or big chances. I mean, they're making money, and they want to continue to make money, and they're going to stick with guys that make money. If Cody Rhodes being at the top is making a lot of money, they're not going to change it. I'm not saying I agree with that because I think Cody would make money whether he's got the belt or not.
Yeah. It's
In
kind
my
of
opinion.
it's kind of John Moxley stuff with AEW. They kind of have him start the show and things like that, and him being a top star, making more money than people in NXT. It's kind of a similar situation, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, but Moxley don't need a belt either. I mean, he's got a belt. He don't need a belt. They can put that on a younger guy, but that's either here or there. It's just I would like him to. I don't want to necessarily take swings. I kind of agree with you. Sometimes the storylines run so long that they get stale.
Yeah.
And I think that's our society. It was a little easier back in the '80s when you had Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair for the feud to be a year-long feud. That was a lot easier to do, a lot easier to pull off. Nowadays, with so much going on around us, our attention spans are not like it was at that time back in the '80s.
I mean, even Hogan, Andre, and Macho Man, that was like a 2-year storyline, so actually
like with
3 years, honestly, if you think about it.
I mean, I'd be waiting I watched WTBS on Saturday to see what's going on with the Horseman and Dusty, and I had to wait till the next Saturday because there wasn't hardly any other wrestling on. So, but now I can watch wrestling every day of the week.
Yeah, it's the amount of wrestling that you can find on TV on any given week. There's no shortage of it. That's for damn sure. Speaking of which, I'm going to drop a little nugget here that you pretty much already know my plans. In August, I'm going up to Chicago for TNA lockdown. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually going to be on the floor for that. I'm in like the last row along the stage. So I'll have a nice view of the stage, but I'll be like in the corner. But at the small, it looks like it's a small arena. I'm sure it'll be closer than what I think I'm going to be. So hopefully they got some meet and greets for sale. So I'm keeping an eye on that TNA merch website. So
well, you mentioned TNA, and I didn't have this planned, but let's talk a little TNA. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little disappointed in TNA. First of all, I don't mean to be too critical because, I mean, they got the deal with AMC, which I think is fantastic, but the thing that I worried about with AMC was that the right crowd? Was that the right channel for wrestling?
I mean, American Movie Classics.
I mean, I don't know that it was a right fit. I mean, the numbers have been okay, but I'll be honest with you, I expected a little bit more. And in comparison, here, and they're probably not getting near the money. So I mean, I don't know what they got. Some people said it was maybe $10 million a year. Nothing has really been ever said for sure. That was a rumor. But NWA just signed a deal. Don't know how much money. I'm sure it's not that kind of money. But with Comet TV, and their ratings for Comet are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Comet averages like 91,000 people watch a show, and their very first show did 275.
Yeah.
So, and they're continuing to grow. So, but that's that's free TV. Also, you can just have an antenna and can watch Comet TV. But I'm a little disappointed. I thought TNA would find a way to bring some more talent in, and they really have not. They've run a couple people in, but they've kind of, and I know they're limited. They're not anywhere close to WWE. They're not anywhere close to AEW. They don't have that kind of money. Just because they're on AMC, I mean, people think, well, $10 million is a lot of money. It's not as much money as you think when you're trying to pay pro wrestlers.
Absolutely, especially all the talent that's over there. You got former NXT stars, former WWE stars. You got the Hardy Boys. You got the knockout champions, Ali. Lamb Black. The Righteous Moose. I mean, I'm sure
the other thing is you can't sign these guys to long-term contracts because you ain't got the money. So if they start catching steam and doing well. Well, it's a short-term contract, so they're going to end up probably get an offer from AEW or WWE. And perfect example, I think Leon Slater's contract's up very soon, and
Yeah.
he's not. I'd be shocked if he stayed with TNA. I
Yeah.
think he's going to go to AEW or he's going to go to WWE. I would assume WWE, but you never know. If Tony Khan throws a big check around, he would be a good fit. I personally think he'd be a fantastic fit for WWE, but that's me.
Yeah. Throw him in, put him back on NXT, and put the belt on him.
You know what I'd do? I'd fire up that main roster with the tag team division, put him and Javon Evans together, and let them go.
Yeah.
Let them run the show. I'd have him have both sets of titles.
Yeah, like
and have them
tag champions.
And have them both states because they're young guys with great character and also just fantastic in the ring. And I think it helped bring some younger viewers.
Hey, imagine them two versus Street Profits.
Yes.
Shit, that could make event a show.
Oh, yeah,
shows and PLEs. Because you're gonna get the Street Profits, everybody's gonna get fired up for them. Plus, you got people behind Javon Evans. Then you bring Leon Slater in too for the tag belts.
Yeah.
But you know how Tony Khan is. Yeah, Tony Khan. With his yachts and his money and his daddy's money from the Jaguars, he has no problem throwing out a big check if it comes down to it.
Well, the only thing I think he's going to have to realize is TKO. I think the days of great big checks for them are over for WWE. So he don't have to overpay for guys. So I think he needs to be a little smarter with his. But that's just my opinion. Of course, he's a billionaire. I'm not, of course. So, but I don't think he's going to have to overpay for people anymore. If he's smart. If he's smart. Next question I had for you: having Obafemi lose to Brock. I've heard a lot of people come out saying that was a huge mistake. They should have never done that. What's your feelings?
I hate that he lost, but I'm not in the majority of this opinion because I thought the loss was amazing. I mean, I because of how it made him look and how it's going to build up the rubber match in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Like that, and how he came out on Raw on Monday. Holy shit, that was fucking amazing, dude. Like,
yeah,
people just posting shit for clicks, and it's the Caitlin Clark fans and the people that crash out on Twitter. They just post shit because it sounds good.
Well, look. I mean, look what they did with Jade Cargill on AEW. They made her look unbeatable for a long time. She finally lost a match. But the most important thing is to build the character. Perfect example, Goldberg. Once Goldberg lost, he was dead in the water. Don't worry about that. Just worry about developing the wrestler, the character, and Oba's going to be a huge star. There's nothing going to derail him, in my opinion. You've seen what that building was like the other night with him and his performance.
Shit, the freaking camera was shaking and everything else, Tony. It was amazing.
Well, a lot of people are saying if he don't win the King of the Ring, it's ridiculous. I don't expect him to win the King of the Ring. I mean, I have no problem if he does, if they go that route. But honestly, the person I think is going to win the King of the Ring, and I'll say it right now, I think it's going to be Seth Rollins.
Oh, I think it was Seth Rollins.
I think Braun Breaker is going to Braun Breaker is going to beat Obafemi because Brock Lesnar is going to get involved.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And somehow, some way. And then it's going to end up in the finals, Braun and Breaker. And that's Braun's hurt because there's been some rumors that he hurt his ankle again.
I did. I follow all the same shit on social media. And I saw that. I saw a little bit too about potentially Braun working through an injury.
But I think Braun, I'll be honest with you, I seen the video of him limping so bad. I think he was putting it on. And the reason I say this is if he was limping that bad, he would have had a crutch.
Yeah.
I think he did it for the cameras. That's just my opinion.
Now, do you think Jake if I did it for the cameras? So
Um,
that question.
he sure didn't look hurt at the match Sunday to me.
Yeah, because I have to agree with you on that because I remember watching the last match at Clash in Italy and was thinking the same thing. I was like, everybody was talking on Friday, even us. We was thinking that they was going to try to switch some shit up on Sunday, but no, he was all right.
I mean, you look at SummerSlam right now, and I think the match would be a perfect match. Would be Seth Rollins against.
Braun Breaker.
Well, no, I'm talking about because
Oh,
I think he beats Braun and he goes on to SummerSlam to take on Roman Reigns.
hey, I'll be good, man.
Main event of Roman Reigns. There's all kinds of story there, and then if you possibly do Gunther and Cody again.
Yes, absolutely. It sounds amazing because you got the Seth and
Got two
Roman.
nights.
Yeah, because that feud's like 12 would be technically about 12 years. No, wait, 14 years in the making because they came out as the Shield here in Indianapolis at Survivor Series 2012. So I was in the building for that, and I was in the building for when Seth turned. That's crazy, but that's gonna be that'll be one heck of a main event. Just Seth and Roman itself. So
I agree. I'm interested to see where they're going with this Jacob Fatu thing. Now he's part of the group. He kneeled down to the OTC. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this. Everybody's saying it's the same story. It's a little bit different. It's different than what Solo is because Solo came in. Solo was, so I mean, he did have a tribal match, but that was after he left the group.
yeah,
I think it's more similar to a Jey Uso thing where he beat the crap out of Jey Uso and made him be subservient. So I understand people's viewpoint. I just hope it goes a different direction with it. I hope it turns out Jacob Fatu turns on all of them, but we'll see where they go with it. I don't know where they're going for sure, and that's not a bad thing. People complain, well, it's the same old thing. Well, you don't know until you watch it.
absolutely. Especially when you get in Solo coming out after the match, and stuff like that. It could be a thing where they're all on the same page for a while.
Yep.
Yeah. Who the hell's going to stop them though?
Okay. I had one more thing here. Want to know how you would rank the mask versus mask match in AAA that happened this past Saturday night with the original El Grande Americano and the El Grande Americano. How do you think that match stacks up as far as matches go for the last 10 years?
Top three.
I think so too.
Maybe the best one. Maybe the best one because we've seen all.
I really enjoyed Cody's and Roman's match.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Cody and his brother Dustin's match that they had early on in AEW. One of the best matches I've seen. Another one it's more than 10 years when Daniel Bryan finished his story and won at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
It was very, very good. But yeah, man, that match, it was about as perfect as matches I've seen as far as storytelling. And when I say perfect, it wasn't just about the moves in the match. I've seen better in-ring matches, but it was everything. It was before with the entrances. It was the stuff going on outside with almost like a soap opera type thing with the girl being at ringside. It was after the match, the speech by
Chad Gable
and having his family in the ring. It was just everything, the whole package.
Then seeing the parades to the city, the Chad Gable Americano, damn near having to be pulled off for out of a crowd, because it was getting intense. That's some heel heat right there, man. That's why I was saying in our group chat the other night. I said, man, I wouldn't mind seeing a riot tonight.
It was fantastic. I know Marcus Fine, who's watched a lot of wrestling in his years, and
Hmm.
he said it was one of the best matches he had seen in years.
Oh, that's no
And
doubt. We
he,
all of us were in the chat at the same time,
oh,
chiming in.
yeah, I was yelling and screaming at my TV. I'm not gonna lie, it was, and I expected. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I expected it to be a good match. I did not
Hopefully,
expect it. I did not
be that thing
expect what
good.
happened. I
Yeah,
didn't expect it. Yeah, I didn't expect what they did. A lot of people are going crazy, about the Undertaker, and I think Undertaker's doing a great job there. I think also Jeremy Borash, who used to be with TNA, he's with them there with the video packages and all that stuff he does. I think it's fantastic. Also, Pete Dunne was the producer
of the
on that
match. Yep.
match. Yeah, he was a producer, and then also there's a lot of producers that's been with AAA already that I'm sure that been with the company for a while that help them guide them on the traditions and everything. So
Yes.
it was fantastic. I really think they need to get AAA a TV deal here in America.
Don't we already have one for Fox or
It's
FS1, but it's not
no, no,
regular?
no, no. That's a Mexico. They have a deal in Mexico. Now
Oh,
they do show them on YouTube, but I'm telling you, I think a regular network, I think would work.
yeah, absolutely. And I have to agree with you just on the simple fact of them attempting Triple May in that one in Vegas in September. I'm going to guess that's going to be at the Thomas and Mack Center probably because that venue seemed like it'd be perfect for that,
Okay.
which would be where the UNLV plays and where the Sun Link is at for NBA.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, they definitely need a TV deal here in America because I think they can get people behind this brand, especially after having a match like that.
And it wasn't just that match. I mean, the whole show was a pretty solid show. I watched the whole show. It was a very good show, and a lot of different styles. I mean, you had the War Raiders against Psycho Clown and Pagano. Big story going on now between Psycho Clown and Pagano. They do a lot of great storytelling there. Vakino and Dr. Wagner was a great match. Uh, you had
Well,
Ray Phoenix beating Laredo Kid. We had 3 title changes before the main match, which was the mass versus mass match. So
oh,
it was a
absolutely.
really good show. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. I think it could be the best match I've seen in 10 years, and
Yeah,
if it's not, it's right up there top 3. I know some people might give Cody and Roman the edge with all the bells and whistles went on that match. And it was
yeah.
such a big stage of WrestleMania. So I can understand. There's a lot more people. I mean, that arena was packed, and you couldn't
Yeah.
be any louder. That crowd didn't sit down. It stood the whole
Hell
damn
no.
match.
They still shit. That would probably be a match that would have stood up for the whole time as well, even with having
Yeah,
throughout the riot. So obviously standing in one
yeah,
spot for too long, I would have been standing, but I would have been like swaying back and forth to keep my legs moving in some way or another because that match was an hour long.
yeah.
I think.
With
Yeah,
everything, with everything.
yeah, with everything. To
I
but
tell
to piggyback on the top 3 matches of all time, I'll probably even have the night one, the main event of WrestleMania 40 in there too, with The Rock, Roman, Cody versus
It's
Cody and
good
Seth,
too.
because everybody talks about the night two, but a lot of people forget how we got
Yeah,
there on night
yeah.
one, and the
That's
build up for
true.
that was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree.
That
40
probably,
was one of the 40 was one of the best WrestleManias of all time, I think.
yeah, I have to agree with you. You know why? Besides the fact that the Roman and Cody finishing the story, you had a lot of feuds get set up there. You had the Cody and Drew getting, no, not Cody and Drew, but CM Punk and Drew McIntyre getting set up. Even with
Yeah.
CM Punk's jacking up his shoulder or whatever it was. Then Seth Rollins' entrance. Seth Rollins' entrance was amazing.
Yeah.
Having that. Granted, it wasn't in New Orleans, but it was like a Mardi Gras type of entrance. But yeah, 40 was definitely a great one.
Well, the storytelling with Cody and Roman and Seth, Seth told Cody he'd be his shield.
Mhm.
And this the storytelling, the way that match ended. it was just it was. I mean, it was just fantastic storytelling.
Seth on
Yeah,
one leg coming out, getting speared.
yeah, trying to help all he could. Seth Rollins gets a lot of credit. I don't think he even gets the credit he deserves, though.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best in the world, in my opinion.
There's another wrestler that is on that level that I think is retired that we don't give enough credit to. I want to say probably Kurt Angles will fall in that category that he doesn't give enough credit that he deserves just for his work in TNA and WWE.
Yes. Well, people forget about his TNA.
Yeah.
And his TNA work was as good, if not better, than his WWE work.
Yep. Some of the stuff he was doing, even though he was on the medications,
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
Some of those bumps he was taking, god dang.
Well, Glenn, you got anything else before we get out of here?
I do not. You was thinking the same thing I was, because I was looking at the time, and we got Heel of Face coming up here just after 8:00. So
8:00. Yeah, Face or Heel, join us for that, and then we got Gonzo Sports Room at 10.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of good. Hey, we got a lot of good stuff for Face or Heel. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. So definitely, we'll be talking the King of the Ring. We'll be talking the King of the Ring tournament. Go over that real quick. We're gonna be talking. We're gonna go into AAA more. We're gonna go into the pay-per-view WWE just had on Sunday in Italy, and then our normal shows too. So we got a big show for you. So definitely check that out. And we appreciate everybody watching.
And as far as the Racing Wrestling is concerned, we'll be back on here on July 1st.
Yes.
Which will be the Wednesday after Sonoma. So we will see you all then, if not tonight. And I'm gonna roll this.